So there's this one thing that pretty much everybody does on every vocal mix. I do it too. But if you do it a little bit wrong, you're going to ruin the whole vocal. So you got to be careful. Let's go. Yo, what's good, guys? Inswain with Inswain Audio. Welcome back. If you're new, subscribe and stick around because I drop videos like this every single day. You're not going to want to miss them. Anyways, let's get right into it. So here we got an instrumental and a vocal. I'm going to play it, let you hear it. It's not mixed. And then I'm going to show you that one mistake. Let's go.
Still not high, but still got lost. Thrift-shop polos, all the cost. 40s teed up on the course. I just drank them playing golf. Teleport the way I drive when I'm too fucked.
Okay. Not mixed, nothing crazy. So let's get into it. So one thing that we all do, we're going to EQ our vocals, right? Very common. Another thing that's very common is to do the low cut or the high pass on the vocals, right? We do this pretty much all the time. I know you probably do it as well. Now, that's not the problem. The problem is if we do this one step wrong, if we don't choose the right frequency, it can really ruin the vocal. So something that is almost like an automatic when we're mixing is actually very important. And especially if you don't have a perfectly treated room or good monitoring, it can be really hard to know exactly what frequency to set it to. It can be hard to hear the difference because we're removing frequencies that they're not abundant and they're hard to hear anyways. But check out what happens if we do this wrong. The first issue is if we remove too many frequencies, like if we go too high with this, the vocal's not only going to sound too thin and artificial, which is going to hurt the mix, it's also going to create an imbalance in the vocal, meaning we remove too many lows, we're going to interpret and hear too many highs, which is going to make your vocal thin, harsh, and also the biggest issue is it's going to have too much sibilance. Now, this vocal is actually very tamed in the sibilance. It's not an issue, but in most vocals, if you remove too much frequencies with your low cut filter, you're going to actually make the S's very harsh and they're going to be too hard to tame. So whenever you're struggling with your de-esser or harshness in your vocal, sometimes it's not about the de-esser settings you're using. It's actually, trickly enough, it's your high pass filter. You might be setting it too high, creating harshness in the vocal. Let me show you this. Listen to, as I move this around, listen to what happens to the vocal as we move it to different places. Listen close.
Still not high, but still got lost. Thrift-shop polos, all the cost. 40s teed up on the course. I just drank them playing golf. Teleport the way I drive when I'm too fucked up inside. Warping lines outside my dashboard. Hope I chase them back alive. Knitting my frog, got a brand new stitch. Cutting withdrawals with a brand new bitch. Feeding me all the true intentions.
So if you notice, yeah, it starts to sound thin and unnatural, which is a problem. So you might have that issue, but also the sibilance becomes more prominent as we remove more low frequencies because of that balance. Because remember, we're not adding high frequencies, but we're taking away lows. And it's like that seesaw, that balance. And how we hear things, especially when you start compressing and doing more processing, those S's are really going to come popping out. So I always like to be, play it safe when I'm choosing where to put my high pass filter. I kind of like to do it where you can't really hear it too much. I'd rather have too many low frequencies left in that I need to deal with later than to remove too many of them and then my vocals just thin and ruined from right there, because you can't really reintroduce them, but you can always take out more later. Or you could go back to your EQ and adjust it and, remove a little bit more. But I like to play it kind of safe here. And maybe that'll help you, especially once you start adding compression and saturation, etc. Later on in the chain, you're going to find that your high end gets really out of control. And it's not always because you boosted too many highs, but it's because you removed too many lows. So sometimes we think about it wrong. We're always trying to fix the de-esser or find out why we boosted too many highs, but sometimes it's not that. Like I said, sometimes it's what you did to the low end. You removed too aggressively and now the high end is popping out. It's all a balancing act. So there you have it, guys. Simple little quick one for you today. But I feel like it's really important because this is something we're always doing. No matter what level or genre we're at, it's very common to do this type of EQ on a vocal. And you got to be careful because it can really set your vocal mix back with this one move if you don't do it right. So play it safe and listen closely and spend a couple extra seconds when you're setting that low cut because it's actually really important. I used to just kind of do it quick and fast and now just do it until I just started to hear it and then call it a day. But That's not a way to do it. Spend the extra second and really make sure you do that right. So there you have it, guys. Hope that helped you. Let me know down in the comments below. If you have any video suggestions, you can let me know down in the comments as well. I always appreciate that. Anyways, guys, I'll see y'all tomorrow, man, in Swain with Inswain Audio. Peace.